You know, Pete, there's a lot of cool Star Wars characters with a lot of cool outfits out there.
That's true. Getting the action figures, you always get a better look at them. You get to kind of like, look up close and see what their outfits look like. And that's why I feel like I have a soft spot for Rebel pilots, because there's just the variety. At first they were all orange, and then once you get to Return of the Jedi, you start mixing in different colors, and 9 num and 10 num. And
yeah, Rogue One, we had blue outfits and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're going to take a look at a special niche of cool outfits. We're going to look at our top 6 characters who don't wear pants on today's Jack Porkins Memorial Sexology.
Jack Porkins Memorial Sexology.
All right, coming in at number 6. When I first started going on the list, I was like, I'm not going to do naked characters.
Okay.
I want to include characters that specifically don't wear pants. Porky pig in it, as the kids say.
Oh, okay.
And this turned out to be a mistake, because there aren't actually that many characters who wear tops and not pants. In my head, I thought there were plenty of them, like a funny animal cartoon, but... So I have to give the first spot to the only character I could come up with who truly was pantsless and not nude, and that's our old friend Watto.
Watto.
Yes, the Watto, the floating Toydarian.
As opposed to the other Toydarians. I thought about Watto for a second. Does he have like a thong or something? And follow-up question, does that count as pants?
It's a good question, because that was something I wrestled with, because there are other characters who have just kind of like bikini bottom type things, Abomination style.
You wrestled with Watto's thong.
And now I was just thinking of that Elton John Your song, but Watto's thong. So I do own a Watto action figure, and I could not make out, and I was never able to find anything that confirmed he had any kind of undergarments on. And I also got to give Watto extra credit, because not only does he not wear pants, but he floats around so that his junk is right more or less at eye level. So he lets you know he's proudly not wearing pants.
He is a junk dealer, so...
It's true.
For my first one, I'm going to go with somebody who... most of the time that we see him, he is mostly nude. He was wearing an accessory at best. But I also want to expand this to his whole species, because I'm talking about the Wookiee Chewbacca.
The mighty Chewbacca.
Chewbacca, as far as I've seen, has never been depicted wearing pants. I can't remember if that when he was in disguise as a bounty hunter, if he was wearing pants or not. But I don't think so. Because looking around at the other Wookiees, none of them wear pants. We got Lumpy... That's got to be awkward. Coming of age, being a pubescent Wookiee, not wearing pants. Unless, I don't know, maybe they do things differently. I was thinking about, I've forgotten their name for a second. Yarua. The Wookiee senator. I was like, well, surely they put on pants to go to the Senate. Nope. In the Senate with no pants. Going back to the holiday special, Itchy, Itchy, there's scenes in that where Itchy really should have probably had pants on.
But room, no less.
Yeah,
you have to assume all the Chewbacca's furniture is like Scotch guarded, and like it should really be in that plastic that Queen's grandma's.
Yeah, every once in a while, like a droid comes through there and just really steam cleans everything.
Thankless task.
But we see them in Snuggies and Life Day, but still no pants. And if anybody does Tarful wear pants? If anybody wants to send me a picture of a Wookiee wearing pants from Star Wars, not just like don't just make your own. Although I'm open to it. Oh,
if someone wants to take a picture of them wearing a Wookiee costume, also wearing pants, we'll also invite those pictures to be sent in as well.
That's true.
Travis, send them in. The other thing I admire about Chewbacca is he solves what's known as the nudist dilemma, which is what do you do when you're walking around in your day-to-day life and you don't have pockets? So he is the pioneered the man purse way back in the 70s. So
he paired his purse with a bandolier to really be like, look how macho I am. I have I'm wearing ammunition and also my purse, and so he was really kind of breaking down some doors there.
Yeah, Chewbacca. Well, I guess as long as we're talking about aliens, nude aliens, I'm going to go with my old friend Mufftack from the Creature Cantina.
Mufftack.
He is a Towels, And he was apparently, weirdly, he was, according to the lore, he was abandoned on Tatooine and left there. So he's almost like the Rey of Talz's, that he's this out of place alien living on a world, presumably waiting for his parents to come back. We don't know. They'll have to do another Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Can I follow up? It's okay if you're not sure. Adopted by whom?
It sounds like he was just an urchin, street urchin. So
I was going to say, it would be interesting if we had a creature from a culture that doesn't wear pants adopted by a family who does wear pants. Going back to Chewbacca, similar thing, big hairy furry creatures who don't wear pants culturally, but then what if they are, what if we had a Muftak, a Talz who was taken in by a family of, let's say, Rhodians, and they're like, no, you got to put on this jumpsuit and this vest. And would he be kind of all awkwardly stuffed into it, or what?
And then eventually he would discover his true nature and take off his Greedo suit and run around the woods.
Everybody would gasp.
Well, I guess that's the advantage to being the only one of your species in a place, because you can kind of set your own cultural norms. Like you can walk around naked and be like, hey, this is how we do it in my world. So, especially Tatooine where it's hot. And,
my people don't believe in pants, but well, sorry. Then a bunch of, Muftaks in suits show up and they're like, what's up with that guy? Like three-piece business suits. They're all like, the Talzes are very, very into investment banking.
Well, they're totally shaved now too. They won't have any fur showing at all.
Right.
So it's like, check out the filthy hippie over there. So Muftak, and of course Muftak, another pioneer, being involved in a cross-species relationship with Cabe, the bat-faced girl.
Hey, speaking of filthy creatures,
yes,
my next entrant for this sexology is our old friend, the hero of the rebellion, R2-D2.
Interesting.
Now, R2-D2, I'm using R2-D2 as a kind of a cudgel to just bring up really the idea of droids wearing pants in general. Why don't I say we, but I mean in Star Wars, why don't they make droids wear pants? It seems like, well, R2-D2 I picked because he's the least likely to, his body shape, droid-wise, is not conducive to pants, and I just thought it would be funny to see what his pants would look like. They'd be like little Mickey Mouse shorts, maybe. How far up would they go? Because it's really his shoulders, or there's his shoulders or his hips, his joints there. They are his legs, right? So those are kind of his shoulders. So would his pants go all the way up to where his neck is, or would they just go up to like the little bottom row?
I think they would go up to the two circles on his, that's like his belly button, those two
like dryer vents that he's got.
Those two vents right in the middle of his chest. Those are, and even those suspenders.
Do you think suspenders? I like it. Do you think that it would just basically have one hole for his moving around leg, or would it have holes for his outside legs?
Oh,
because I feel like that would encumber his movement a little bit if they had to cover the outside legs. I guess this is solving the answering my question of why don't we make R2-D2 wear pants, because it would really interfere with him. But let's back it up and say somebody like C-3PO. C-3PO wearing pants, let's just take a moment to picture that real quick.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What kind of pants are you picturing?
Go back and forth. It is protocol, so you think it would be something formal, but there's also something that's tickling my brain about C-3PO wearing like Zubaz or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to go like Daisy Dukes. Like he's a never nude.
So I want to know why none of them wear pants.
I'm going to guess it's to I was going to say dehumanize, but not humanize, but because if they're wearing clothes, then they're like closer to living beings. And then it's like, oh, you're in the ethical dilemma of why are we treating these living things that are wearing pants like they're, slaves or whatever. So I feel like that by doing that, they can kind of trick them. It's like pets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pets wear pants sometimes. People give a lot of pets pants.
Those people that's a cry for help. Unless it's a chimpanzee, then that's understandable. Why
chimpanzee,
yes. But yeah, it's a can of worms once you get into droids wearing pants. Because well, I guess General Grievous isn't technically a droid. He wears a cape. That's as close, I think, as we come to a droid who wears. Well, IG-88 does wear a bandolier.
Mm-hmm.
So
IG-88 and Chewbacca are wearing the same outfit.
They bump into each other at Bandoliers Are Us.
Oh, how embarrassing. We're both wearing the same outfit. I can't go in there.
I think it's considered neutral territory when you're in Bandoliers R Us. Like
Right.
there's no fighting. There's nothing like that. So I was making an effort to try to go all over the Star Wars universe, not just the classic Star Wars, as much as I'm inclined to. So I went very deep, and I'm going to go with Lady Valerian.
Lady Valerian.
Now, Pete, I know what you're wondering. Who on earth is Lady Valerian?
Oh, she's on Earth?
She's right behind you.
Ah.
She is apparently she was in the extended universe, the old
The old EU.
yeah, expanded. Is that what they call it? The expanded universe or extended universe?
See how much they've taken from us? We don't even remember what it's called anymore.
It's like it was erased from my archives. Anyway, it was from the olden times when a bunch of crazy books and Han Solo had a son named Jason. Lady Valerian was Jabba the Hutt's rival crime lord.
Oh, okay.
So she's some kind of alien and that doesn't wear pants. So I'm pretty sure our only female contestant on this listing. So good for you, Lady Valerian. Sisters doing it for themselves.
For my last one, I'm going to suggest somebody that might cause a bit of controversy. We talked about Watto's thong earlier. That wasn't controversial enough. I wanted to dig deeper because there's a schism here in terms of there's two schools of thought.
Excuse me?
As to the outfit of our next contestant, the leader of the band himself, Max Rebo.
I thought you meant Tony Thaxton.
Yeah, Tony is in fact not wearing pants right now. It's his way.
Yeah.
So depending on your point of view in terms of the anatomy of Max Rebo, and I love that we're in a place in society where people have strong points of view about the anatomy of Max Rebo. You know, when they first showed Max Rebo on screen, we had the brief couple of glimpses of him playing music in the band at Jabba's palace or on the sail barge.
Shooting the keys.
Then the action figures, I think, bringing back the toys, the action figures, I think, what most of us are basing our concept of Max Rebo's body on, where he's got his little, anemone fingers, and he's wearing like a diaper, basically. The original design for Max Rebo has what we think are his fingers. His hands are actually his feet, and he plays the keyboard with his feet, and he's sitting on a pad. So that little strip of fabric that we see is actually like a pillow and not a diaper.
Almost like a design that would be used more effectively with Sebulba.
Yes.
Sebulba is, he uses his hands for what humans think of their hands and feet. He reverses it. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So Max Rebo, the proto-Sebulba. But I'm going to go with the originalist kind of design because I like the concept of it, and I have a hard time picturing it, but I want it to be true. That he's playing with his toes. What we think are his ears are actually flippers of some sort, and he's a much more interesting creature design. So I'm going to say Max Rebo not wearing pants.
I'll agree.
Agree? Disagree?
I agree. Max Rebo was one of my alternate choices as well. I was once drawing the Max Rebo band. If you look at them outside of context, they are horrifying.
Oh yeah,
like David Cronenberg-esque designs. And if you look at Max Rebo and think of those as like his legs, it's very disturbing. It's again, someone who's like aggressively letting you know they are not wearing pants. Not only am I not wearing pants, I'm sitting here spreading my legs right in front of everyone, where my head, where my naughty bits should be. So,
is Droopy McCool the most clothed member of the band? Because Sice Noodles is just wearing like a loincloth, I think, right? And Droopy's wearing he's essentially wearing a diaper of sort, or like jodhpurs or something.
And he's wearing like
yoga pants or harem pants.
Like he's wearing like boxer briefs kind of pants. Joe Yowza, he's stark raving nude over there. So
original cut, the original Max Rebo band. I think that Droopy McCool is the most clothed member.
I feel obligated to point out that you're changing your normal. Normally, you're a Kenner fundamentalist when it comes to character names and designs and such. So this is a case where you're not going with that line
Although
of questioning.
I have had I've new information has been brought to light in one of those instances, and so I'll save that for maybe a Star Wars Minute weekend edition or something like that. But
oh man,
I've changed a long held stance.
Oh boy, stance.
Not a sponsor of this episode.
Too bad. Well, that gives us 6 characters who walk around without wearing pants. Pete, anyone you want to bring up for honorable mention? People who didn't quite make the top 6?
Well, 2 questions, let's say. One is, do you think Jawas wear pants under their robes?
No.
No. Okay. Asked and answered.
Mm-hmm.
And then
anyone who wears robes, no pants underneath. Why would you? What's the point? If you're wearing a robe like that, the Emperor, Emperor, although Emperor does wear pants. She's not wearing. So. She doesn't wear.
She's like an open robe policy.
But I think she's wearing pants. I don't think she's wearing a dress. I think she's wearing like a pantsuit.
Right.
So, yeah. But anyway, definitely the Emperor.
And my follow up to bring us into the sequel trilogy. What do you think Claude's pants would look like if Claude wore pants?
Like a tube top, I guess.
Or a tube bottom.
That's something that they should have done, is to differentiate the Republic from the Empire. Is when Palpatine takes office, his first rule is that everyone has to wear pants now. So you'd see droids wearing pants, you'd see Chewbacca wearing pants, and like they're all ill-fitting, and then at the end of Return of the Jedi, everyone takes their pants off and is like, yeah,
throws them up in the air,
throw their pants up in the air. Yeah, that would have been great.
Wave them like they just don't care.
Yeah.
What about you? Any honorable mentions?
Well, you have the naked duo of Jabba the Hutt and Salacious Crumb also. So it makes me think Jabba's a real like stickler for nudism.
Anything goes in his domain, because there's a lot of people wearing pants. There's a lot of people wearing like armor and stuff in his. So he's like, hey, you don't want to wear pants in here? I'm not going to tell you have to.
Like,
I'm a crime
except
lord.
for the band, he makes them not wear pants.
Well, again, Droopy's got his. You think he's shy, Droopy McCool?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what you mentioned it earlier about where the thong counts as pants. Mm-hmm. I would say no, because if someone walked in and was just wearing like their underwear, I would say, why aren't you wearing pants? But I guess technically they are under pants. So,
all right.
Well, you know what? Let us know in the comments below if you think thongs count as pants in Star Wars, or just like shorts. You know, like does Max Rebo's, not Max Rebo, does Droopy McCool's things count as pants? Well, I guess that'll wrap up this edition of the Jack Porkins Memorial Sexology. Don't forget, we have a podcast, Star Wars Minute. You can find it wherever you get podcasts, or even on this very YouTube channel that you are watching. And like and subscribe and all that stuff. And we'll see you next time on Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.
Alex just names top 3 things, and then Pete also names top 3 things. That was a total of 6 things. That was the Jack Porkins Memorial Society.